Everyone in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tattletales. Thank you for tuning us in today, and thank you all for coming, too. We have an audience divided into 3 sections, if you don't know. Blue, yellow, red, rooting for the celebrity couples, and we got 3 great ones, and they're going to win money for them today. On my left, winning money for the blue section today.
You almost blanked there, didn't you?
No, I didn't at all.
Really not really.
A dramatic pause.
It was a dramatic pause.
All right.
Mr. Robert Vaughn and his wife, Linda.
Hi.
Used to be big winners on this game.
You used to be big winners on
Big
this game?
winners.
Oh, let's hope.
What makes you feel you will not be big winners now?
The potential's there.
The potential is absolutely there. As long as it's there, anything can happen. Speaking of potential, winning money today for the banana section, Mr. Artie Johnson and his wife, Gisela.
This is it. This is, Gisela and I had a long meeting, and this is it. Because of the fact that we really feel that this is our first time on the show.
Yes.
And speaking for her, and that's very difficult.
Don't speak for me, I speak for myself.
See what I said, folks? I can't speak for her.
It is difficult.
Well, we have decided we're going to win.
You have? Really? Do you agree with that, Gisela? Even though he...
Totally.
Totally. All right. Then everything is fine. All right.
Totally.
We have set up a real competitive spirit here, and we must complete it, and we will, because winning money today for the red section is Mr. Dick Gautier and his wife, Barbara Stewart.
A hero was born.
Luckily, Bert, I'm not competitive. I'm not competitive, and I don't care about winning, Bert.
No, I know that. I can
But
see.
We're on a streak. We have to
we're
win.
on a hot streak.
You
we
really
want to follow
are.
it through. That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
Right.
let's see if you can keep it up, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Dick, by the way, good luck tonight. You're opening this very night in St. Louis, aren't you?
At the Barn Theater, yes, doing Sundays in New York.
Oh, say hello
Yes.
to all my family. That's my hometown.
Oh, hey, I'll do it.
Sure.
Hey, thank you, man.
They'll
Yeah, I'll do it.
all the convies will be there to see, I'm sure. of that.
Terrific.
Get out and see Dick, will you? Here you go, ladies. This is your first question worth $150. Ladies, you're at a glittering party where everybody is absolutely stunning. Which do you look over first, the beautiful women or the handsome men? Don't say anything. You're at a glittering party where everybody is absolutely stunning. Which do you look over first, the beautiful women or the handsome men? Okay, we'll be back to your answers. Goodbye, girls. Listen to the music. We'll start with you, Robert.
Well, at this party that we never attend, this hypothetical party that you're always talking about on
Yes.
the show, based upon a lot of conversations, I would say that Linda would totally check out all the ladies and their clothing and their jewelry and everything.
Oh.
And then maybe after the puppies that were around and some of the other animals, she might get to the men.
I see. Okay. The blue section seems to agree with
Puppies
you,
would be
too.
second.
Puppies would be second. Men
Yes.
come in third. Okay.
Not even third.
Let's see what Linda says. Linda, you've just stepped into this incredible room full of the beautiful people. Who are you going to look at first, the ladies or the men?
No question about it, the women.
That's what he said. You're right. Well, that was easy for you, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
I said puppies would be second, right?
Puppies would be first if they were there.
Yeah. Okay.
No question.
Why is that, you think? You want to...
Oh, because I appreciate the effort that women make, and I think beautiful clothes and beautiful women are just fabulous.
I do
love to look
too.
at them.
I must admit, I probably tend to do the same thing when I walk into a room,
How
too.
weird of you.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, dear. Artie, what's Gisela going to say to this one?
She's going to say, first she's going to check out the eyes, and then the eyeshadow makeup, and then the earrings, and then the makeup, and then the bodies, and then the shoes,
So it would be
and then
men.
the bags. I was going to say that, you just ruined it for me. Actually, she would take the women. Absolutely, she would check out every woman in that joint before she would turn and look at the men.
Okay. You sure of that?
Positive.
Let's bring on Gisela.
Yeah.
Gisela,
Yeah?
what are you going to do now? You come into the party. There are beautiful people there. Handsome men, stunning women. Who are you going to look at first?
Well, since I'm very fashion conscious, I will look over the woman first.
That's what he said. You're right.
Finally.
Very well done. Thank you, Gisela.
Welcome.
Dick, how about Barbara?
How about Barbara?
How about that? Take my wife.
I don't
Gee, I don't know. You know, you guys gave those answers with great authority. About Barbara, I don't know. I find her cruising men quite often. In fact, the longer we're married, the more she does it. I don't know what that means. I would have to answer. I think she'd look at the men. She'd get around to the women, but she'd look at the men first.
Really?
Oh,
somebody's yelling out no in an urgent tone.
I might be wrong, but...
Okay.
That's what I think.
He's going to go with his answer. He's going to say the men, let's bring on Barbara. Barbara, you step in the room. There they are, the beautiful people. Who are you going to look over first? The stunning ladies or the handsome gentlemen?
Oh, man. I guess I'd have to look at the men first. But
That's
then the
what
women.
he said.
He did say that?
Don't pick on them, Dick. They tried to do the best they could. That means everybody got it
Why,
right. Let's split that pot 3 ways. We'll come back in a moment and split all the pots and see who's going to win Tattletales today after these messages for you.
Concentrate for that new car. Here's the puzzle.
Question number 2 coming your way. Now, I have to make one quick little announcement if we can have a little decorum in here. The red section is pretty wild today. And during that last answer, someone in the red section yelled out the answer. We asked Barbara backstage if she heard it. She said no, she didn't. And so we let that question stand. But that's why we caution people in the audience not to yell out the answers. And Barbara told us that she honestly didn't hear.
Somebody yelled out the answer?
You didn't hear it, Barbara, but that's how it worked out. Okay, which of the following has led to more trouble? Giving your husband advice or taking his advice? Which of the following has led to more trouble? giving your husband advice or taking his advice? Think about it, girls. We'll come back and find out how you feel about that in just a moment. Artie, we'll start with you. What's Gisela going to say?
Wow. Actually, gee, it's very hard because we've both sort of ruined each other's lives giving advice. I think she's one up on me, though. I think she once gave me a little advice that would have I could have gone the other way just as easily and with less trouble. I would say her in this case, which would be the answer number 14 under the B column.
Yes.
Whichever.
What has led to more trouble is her giving you advice.
Yes, I think it has in the overall.
All right.
Not badly, though.
Let's bring her on.
Because
Gisela, which of the following has led to more trouble? You're giving Artie advice or you taking his advice?
Well, I think this is this. This can really rock a 7-year marriage. I mean, you know. Can you just ask me again?
Yes, surely. Oh. Which has led to more trouble? Giving your husband advice or taking his advice?
I think when Artie gives me advice, it leads into trouble because I bring things back.
No, that's not what he said. He said when you give him advice.
It's all right, honey. It's all right, honey. So far, we've got 7 years going down the drain.
No, not at all. Yeah,
no, honey, I qualified
chance.
it when I said it because you're such an absolutely magnificent person. Oh, I don't want to go home in the same car. Are you?
Let me give you some advice.
Sorry about that, Dick. Do you have any advice for Artie and Gisela?
I certainly do. My advice. Well, are you asking between Barbara and I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I give her advice. I think advice is the only thing more blessed to give than to receive. You know, I've always gone by that. I think it's more trouble when Barbara gives me advice.
You think so?
Yeah. Because I try to give it to her nice, and she goes, "Do it!" And that's it, you know.
Right. Okay.
No, I think it's her.
You'll say her giving advice has given her more trouble. Okay, let's bring her on. Barbara, what has led to more trouble? Giving your husband advice or taking his advice?
Well, whenever I give him advice, we get into a fight, so that's what I've got to say. It's when I give him advice.
That's what he said.
Is that what he said? You terrible person.
That's it. Absolutely right. Thank you, love. Robert, how about Linda?
Well, advice is criticism both good and bad, isn't it? Would you say that?
Well, it's not always criticism either.
Yeah.
It's
advice, well, she gives me an awful lot of criticism and an awful lot of advice, good and bad. I don't say anything about anything, ever. So obviously I don't cause any trouble, so it must be her causing me trouble more than...
Giving the advice is what leads to more trouble.
Yeah, because I don't talk
Right,
much.
I understand. Okay, let's bring on Linda. Linda, what do you think has led to more trouble? Giving Robert advice or taking his advice?
Well, now, we both give pretty good advice when we give it, but percentages alone would have to make me giving him advice
Leading
more
to
difficult.
more trouble. That's
Yes.
what he said.
Yes.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Linda and Robert are right. Barbara and Dick are right. We'll split the pot in half and change places. Will we do that, fellas? And while we're changing places and bringing the beautiful ladies out front, we'll break away for these messages. Second half coming up. See you in a minute. Gisela, we're back on the air the second half. Gisela just said, you know, the yellow section can only lose money. I could lose a husband like this. Okay.
She's right.
If you're ready, fellas. She's right, huh?
Oh, who said that?
Artie did.
No, Artie did.
Here comes the next question worth
got him
$150, fellas. If you're ready, this is it. Psychologists say that most couples argue in cycles. That is, they keep arguing about the same subjects over and over again. What do you think your next argument will be about? Wow. Good reaction there. Psychologists say that most couples argue in cycles. That is, they keep arguing about the same subjects over and over again. What do you think your next argument will be about? Think about that one, and we'll come back for your answers in a moment.
Oh, boy. What our next argument will be about. The very next argument. Maybe I'll go back to that last one, that I'll start giving him advice again or something. I'll start telling him, and I'll repeat the same thing over and over again to him. I tell him things and I repeat it a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. That could make an argument.
That could make him pretty angry.
Make me furious.
Would it? Well, it's a good thing I'm not married to you. I'll have to go with that it'll be something that I've said to him a million times before, and I'll say it again.
Okay. Or in that area, you repeat yourself or something like that.
Yeah, that I'll give him advice and repeat it.
Okay, let's bring him on and see what he says. Dick, what is the next argument you and Barbara are going to have be about?
Oh, my
or whatever that means.
God, there's so many to choose from. Oh, you don't know how tough this is. I'm at sea. It's just a shot in the dark. I mean, it's it's like a needle in a haystack. I'm just going to have to take a shot at it because I don't really know what to answer. I'll say decorating the house.
No, that's not it.
I don't know.
Tell him what you said, Barbara.
I said, because you yelled at me about that not too long ago, that I was telling you the same thing over and over again, that I repeat myself. I either give you
Hey,
advice...
Barbara, excuse me, you're repeating yourself.
Sorry about that, Richard. Linda, what's Robert going to say?
Tough question.
Well, now, there are two very valid possibilities here. One of them is his rotten driving, and it is rotten. But you started this question with saying cycles, which may indicate to him it's some argument we've had recently that we may have again. And you're not going to believe it. The most recent argument we had was watching this show last week when Glenn Ford was on and a number of other people, and you asked that question about would you acquit the man who was found in bed and the woman and the killing him.
Oh, yes, right.
And he said he would acquit him, and I was appalled because I said I wouldn't have answered that, and we fought for 2 days.
Wow,
now, we may fight about the acquittal and death penalty and punishment,
and all of that
crime
again.
and punishment. Yes.
Okay, all right.
No, well, we fought about it.
Could...
As stupid as it may seem. Oh, that was a killer, that one. You know, the death penalty, that's a big argument.
You know, a lot of people do watch the show at home and get involved.
And fight it out before
yes,
they get
do.
here.
I get it. Wherever I go, people say, well, you know, when you ask that, well, my dumb husband said, I get that a lot, too.
Well, let's try it.
Okay, let's bring on Robert, see what he says. Robert, if it is true that people and couples do argue in cycles, what do you think your next argument with Linda will be about?
Well, cyclically speaking, it would have to do immediately after the show and my driving. But I won't say that. Wait a second, I'm not going to say that. That's not what I'm going to say. It would have to do with the house.
No, that's not it. She almost said driving. She didn't say house. Tell him what you said, Linda.
You know what I told him about? I told him about the big argument we had about whether or not that man should have been acquitted in last week's question. Remember? The Tattletales question?
Yes, that's the one time that will ever come up in our life.
Death penalty. We talk about death penalty all the time. We fight that one out.
Aren't we a happy couple? Talking about the death penalty all the time. That's all we just dwell on the death penalty night and day.
Conversation just like that.
Well, apparently it comes up. Yeah, the death penalty.
Sorry about that, Robert. Gisela, what's Artie going to say? You can get the whole pot, too.
I have to win for my yellow friends out there.
My yellow friends.
I really have to tell you, we do not fight in cycles. We fight in squares.
Oh.
And I would say, I can promise you that we're going to fight when we leave here about the show today.
You think so, huh? You think the next argument will be about this show?
Artie's going to say, don't you understand English? And I will say, no.
Right. That'll be it. Okay,
Make
let's
your
bring
promise.
him on. Shh. Artie, what do you think
I'd like to go home. That's what I think.
No, but before you do, what do you think your next argument will be about with Gisela?
See, we don't argue that much.
Mm-hmm. But what do you think the next one could be about?
The next one could be about? Boy. About your weight.
No, that's not what Gisela said. She's looking astounded, as a matter of fact.
Adi, I am so finished in my life now.
What happened, honey?
I said
something I did?
Yes.
Did I enjoy it?
But you know what?
Then don't knock it.
He's not that far wrong. He's talking about in relation to a question that we asked on the show, but that's not exactly, that wasn't the answer.
Well, that's what I meant. It was the aggregate. Well,
that was one question. No, because...
I said we will fight the minute we leave here about the show, because we did everything wrong.
I don't feel we did anything wrong.
No, you didn't do anything wrong.
I'm sorry to argue because I don't feel like arguing about that argument.
Now, Artie, listen.
You want to argue about what we should really argue about?
No.
We'll argue about this guy because his build is not that good.
No,
He's
wait
fat,
a minute.
I'm going to tell you that. He hides the fat under that corduroy coat he wears. That
now, just a minute. Wait a minute,
$7 coat that he has made somewhere. What? I'll argue with you. I don't want to argue with my wife.
No, there's no problem. You see, nobody got that one right.
Isn't that wonderful?
See?
Shows you how well these people are adjusted.
He becomes a pussycat instantly. Nobody got that question right. That $150 goes over to the next one, which will then be worth $450.
Probably
and we
won
will
by
come back and see who's going to win that big one after this message for you.
No matter who's dealing the cards, the Sharks are in it to win it.
I gotta go all the way! Higher!
Card Sharks, today at 4:30 on Buzzer.
Nobody got the last question right. They tried, but they didn't make it. That $150 comes over to this question. It's now worth $450. This will decide a game, and this should be fun. Fellas, if you're ready to go, here we go. All of us act a little childish at times. Barbara just giggled a lot. Which of you would you say acts a little childish more often?
Sure.
You or your wife. Don't say anything now. All of us act a little childish at times, which is true. Which of you would you say acts a little childish more often? You or your wife. Think about that one, fellas. And this will be the game when you come back. This will decide it. We'll start with Gisela. Oh.
I'm totally confused, really. And I'm a good sport. But...
do you want me to explain? Is there anything you don't
I
understand?
understand every word now because my vocabulary really grew tonight.
Yes.
I think I act more childish.
Than Artie does?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. The yellow section is saying no, but you're thinking of the characters he plays and things. So.
Just think of my marriage.
Yes, please. Think of Gisela's marriage. Keep your fingers crossed. You'll say he will say you.
Yes.
Okay, let's bring him on. Artie, between you and Gisela, who do you think acts more childish more often? Acts a little childish more often, let's put it that way.
I can make the last question fall apart, right? I think I do.
That's not what she said.
Well, honey?
Win a few, lose a few, Artie.
I don't see that. That's not worth arguing about.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That would be childish to argue over it, wouldn't it?
Right?
Yes, okay, sorry.
You are a total caca.
That's worth arguing about. You're weird.
That's not German.
No, of course not. That's German for childish.
German.
What do you mean? Nothing wrong with that at all. Linda, what's Robert going to say?
Okay. Without question, in our home, Robert acts more childish more often.
He does?
Yeah, he didn't have a really indulgent childhood. He had to be a grown-up from about the age of 12, so he's getting it now.
So he's doing it now.
Yeah,
all right, let's bring him on. Robert, who acts a little childish more often in your household, would you say?
Well, other than Christmas morning, when it's Linda's turn, I got the other 364 days rest.
That's what the lady said. You're right.
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Still
All
no
right, Barbara,
diamonds.
what's Dick going to say to this one?
There is no doubt in my mind my husband is the most childish.
All right. Oh, no doubt, she says. We'll find out. Here we go. Dick,
Yes.
Between you and Barbara, who acts a little childish more often?
Well, I think Barbara would say it's me.
That's what she said. You're right.
Because...
You said it. Barbara and Dick, Lyndon Robert split that pot in half, and it's a big one, too. Hey, time is up. We have a tie. Hey! The blue section, the red section have tied today. There's a tie. We'll come back in just a moment and find out how much they're going to divide after these commercial messages. Please come back. Tie today. The red section and the blue section with $350 apiece. We had $1,000. They will divide $1,700. You were all splendid. Thank you for being with us. It was wonderful seeing you. And thank you for being with us, too. It was wonderful seeing you. Come back and see us next time with Tattle Tales. Goodbye, everybody.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Tattle Tales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. This program has been edited for broadcast.